Like, it's weird as hell. Like, when you at a party and a white woman feel like this is her Cinderella moment, she gonna throw her tongue down your throat. It's weird. Now you in front of your friends trying to, like, be a man, and you don't want to push no woman off you and say, ewy. You know, you don't want to do that. But now you got a woman throwing her, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it don't smell right, and she in the club trying to twerk on you. You don't know this woman, and it's like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Because white women, they thing is when they like you, they feel like you like them, duh, because you're a black man, so duh, you like me. And I've had them, you know, grab parts of me, like, I'm telling you, and I'm not even dark skinned, like, I'm not even dark, I'm 6'4", I got my locks in my hair. I'm telling you, even when it happens to men play it off in front of women, but it's still wrong. It's just men don't express that, and they don't express that to even other men. I'm telling you, it's nasty. It's nasty work. Peace and power to the descendants of my ancient mother. My name is Brother Legend, and I'm here to raise your consciousness. What's going on? If you are joining us on YouTube, my TikTok is BIGBROLGND. You can join me on TikTok by tapping the top right notification bell on my profile to be notified when I go live. You can also check out replays on YouTube and comment, like, share, subscribe. I post all my replays. Let the algorithm know that you're getting some value from the live. I really appreciate it. You can also check me out on Twitter, BIGBROLGND, same on all platforms. And also check out b1initiative.org. That's our nonprofit. We're building a Afrocentric encyclopedia with all the knowledge of the ancestors, all the knowledge that we use in these lives. You can join us. You can donate. You know, if you can't come and holler, then send $1. $ bring down Babylon to donate. All donations are tax deductible. We are a 501c3. What's going on, y'all? Back again. We back up. Told y'all I was going to restart. We back up. I'm here for a good time, not a long time. Y'all should see my Twitter. If y'all are not on my Twitter, y'all missed out today. Y'all should see my Twitter. Oh my goodness. Twitter's wildin'. I made a video about reparations. And I got all Tariq Nasheed's people going wild on my Twitter. Oh my goodness. Tariq Nasheed's folks, woo, they are mad at me because I said that we don't need no Yankee reparations. Woo-wee. They got mad about that one. My goodness. We don't need no reparations. America ain't got nothing to give me that I want. That's how I feel. And I'm not saying that we don't deserve reparations. That is a different conversation. But should we spend our time trying to get reparations? No. If somebody steals something from you, do you go back and ask them for it back? Do you go and ask for it back? Do you waste your time asking for it back? That don't make no damn sense, do it? Do you go to the person that stole from you and ask for it back? Right, there go Francesca, we take it. If we not taking it back, then I don't want to hear nothing about reparations. Let me know when y'all ready to start taking. I'm ready for that. Tupac said it was coming. I'm ready for that. Let me know. Until then, I don't want to see no legislation and sitting down with Joe Biden and we wrote this book, Massa, to say that we want our reparations back. I don't want none of that. I don't care about none of that. You can change the spider web as much as you want, but until you unalive the white spider, It is going to just weave another web. I'm not doing that. I don't want your colonization money. I don't want your Congo genocide money. I don't want your Palestinian genocide money. I don't want your South American exploitation money. I don't want your Native American stolen land. I'm good on all of that. I'm good on all of that. Somebody point a pew-pew to you and tell you to make him breakfast. And then after you make breakfast, he tell you, all right, you can go. You gonna stick around and eat it? You gonna say, no, I ain't going nowhere. I made this breakfast. This is my breakfast, boss. We made this breakfast together. Nah, nah. Our ancestors didn't want to be Americans. It's a disgrace to your ancestors even call yourself an American. I'm a proud American. Nope. America is the plantation you was brought to, kidnapped to. You're a prisoner of war behind enemy lines. You want to sit here and claim the plantation as your home? Then you go ahead. That ain't got nothing to do with me. I'll tell you right now. This our house, boss. I ain't got nothing to do with me. I'm here for all the unpatriotic brothers and sisters, kings and queens of Africa, you know what I'm saying? Descendants of my ancient mother, you know what I'm saying? Anybody with a flag in their bio, this ain't the live for you, man. But appreciate the brothers and sisters. Got a flag in your bio, this ain't for you. This ain't for you. I'm just letting you know. You know what I'm saying? If you back in the blue, then you can scoodly-doo. Scoodly-doodly-doo. On to another live. Like Dr. Khalid Muhammad said, I'm a rebellious slave. So, you know what I'm saying? And that's what we got. That's what we should be focusing on. It's building with ourselves instead of trying to ask for things back that was stolen from us by the person that stole it. That don't make no sense to me. That don't make no sense. But I'm not saying it's not owed. Did not say it's not owed. But let's go build with each other until they are beating down our walls. I'm sorry, beating down our walls. Pause. Until they are beating down our doors. Hey, yo, pause. That was wild. But anyway. Sorry, I'm from the East Coast. That was wild. That was wild. All right. I'm sorry. I'm a giant 5-year-old sometimes. Anyway. Yo, y'all gotta stop laughing. Big pause on that. All right, so let's say we build with our people until they are beating our doors down to give us reparations. I'm with that plan. Y'all with that? Is that okay to y'all? Is that okay to y'all? They're going to be begging to give us reparations when Africa is sovereign in its own land. When we've got more Ibrahim Traorés, they're going to be begging to give us reparations when the African dollar has surpassed the US dollar because it's backed by a more stable, resource-rich land. They're going to be begging to give us reparations. Instead, we sitting here begging them. We sitting there begging them. And then people want to bring up, well, you know, the Jews got reparations. And tell me when they was asking for it. When was they? How long was they marching? Where was their marches at? Did they have to ask? Or did the Western imperialist structure look at where they were located and say, you know what? We can take over this part of the land. That's a strategic spot for us to have influence in the Middle East. You know what? You don't even got to ask. Here go this land. There y'all go. And we'll pay you to live there. How about that? We'll pay y'all to move in so we can keep tabs on what's going on in the Middle East. That sound about right. Nope. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. If they was really about that life, then they would give it to you. If somebody steals something from you and they really sorry that they did that, they just gonna give it back. You're not gonna have to go ask for it. You ain't gonna have to. They're going, nah, nah. And some of us think yelling, raising our voice and stomping our foot is gonna scare them. That's not doing nothing, y'all. But anyway, I'm sorry. I went off on a tangent because my Twitter is looking wild. Bro. I'm telling you, my Twitter is looking wild, bro.
On the Twitch.
I'm telling you,
Singles are dangerous, brother.
Yeah, Twitter is much more dangerous than TikTok, but I love it because I found some more unapologetic Pan-Africans there. More unapologetic. But there's a lot of Uncle Ruckus. And a lot of them be non-black people with black like little accounts. Yeah, you could tell. You could tell as soon as they open. You know, I could tell. You could tell as soon as they open their mouth. We don't think that way. Wait, hold on. Like, hold on. I forgot. Somebody exposed themselves. I forgot what they said though. But there was like a tweet today where this dude had a picture of Billie Eilish next to some other bunny, and they said something about yams in the picture, but they was talking about like the mammaries. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And they were calling them yams. Like, we don't talk like that. We don't call them sweater puppies yams. We don't do that. They don't even know what yams are. So you just gave yourself away. Yams is the lower half of a woman's body. That's not yams. So like little things like that, they be giving themselves away. Come on, man. We know what yams is. But yeah. You know what I'm saying? Plagiarize wrong, exactly. Well, y'all, I think it's meant to be. I don't know. They put me back at 80, but it's all right. We stay in here.
I was gonna say, I think they're testing you to see how long you'll keep going.
Yeah, that's possible. So I'm only doing like, what time is it? 6. I can do like an hour and a half.
All right. So you got any requests?
No, we just up here.
So Holy Spirit activate. I'm gonna go on and get Olivia. Hold on. Where they at? They over there? All right. Hello, black people. How y'all doing today? I want to know what. Oh, you want to know what Marmar said? Marmar said she was wrong, and she recanted what she was saying that she argued for over an hour. Anyways, bath time. So I just want to know, when it came to Halle Berry and her being called the N-word, how many times did he say the N-word before the divorce papers came around? Yeah, let's talk about that. How many times was she okay with him rocking that word as a common word because they were together? She was his N-word, and it was all love and candy yams. Oh, but when it's over, now you want to call your mass out for calling you the N-word, Haley. My man ain't never had a problem with it. It's only when we get to going and you get mad that he's calling you that word. And Jonathan Myers, he's a liar. That white woman, he was putting his hands on her before this incident. She just kind of proved a point, and she had to come back and remind him who was boss. You gonna learn about playing in our playground? Yeah, that's right. You better run around. And that Apita girl, oh, she's just desperate. She's going through something. She's trying to figure out if she wants light skin or children or. But one thing I'll say about these black folks is they're constantly finding us and blaming us for their issues. Now, when all else fails, it was all right when I was calling her the N-word when we were in love. Right, Hallie? It was just love is love at that point. I mean, how does it change up now, Hallie? He's calling you what he'd been calling you in the house. But all right, I'm going to meet.
I'm gonna be honest. That is a wild relationship, to be honest. The melanin difference between Lupita and whoever's hand she holding is wild, but it's also wild that his ex was a similar complexion. So that's kind of wild. Like that, I don't know how she's holding this person's hand and don't feel like Like that's a fetish. Like when a man has a type that like, fixated, it's kind of weird. That's definitely weird, y'all.
That I've started paying attention to. When I hear men say they love dark-skinned women, especially non-black men, it is an idea that they are easier because they've been beat down by society so much that you don't have to do too much to impress them because they're already at the bottom of the totem pole when it comes to the pickings. So you don't have to work too hard to get the best of them. So you don't have to work too hard to get the
That's
best
wild.
of them.
I mean, I do like dark-skinned women, but I think that's wild. I think that's an interesting
It's
take.
why that I've seen 2 black women make that an excuse of why they're not dating black men. It's so irritating. But it's like this reality where we know that darker skinned women are deemed more masculine and darker skinned men are deemed more masculine in a positive way. It's 2 different negatives and it's definitely looked at differently by
Well, it
different
depends
sectors of
on, no,
society.
all right, now hold on now.
It is.
It depends on what you defining as positive.
So it's not a
'Cause
positive, like a
I'm pretty
good thing.
sure
It's an attraction thing. Is the word
what?
positive what got you? Because there are women, YT women, that will target black men because they're so quote unquote masculine and strong, and it's looked
That's
at as
not
a fetish.
positive.
No, I'm saying it's more like if I'm saying a positive and a negative, a black or dark skinned black woman is deemed more masculine and more, I guess, strong, and she's already wielded in a negative manner. For a man, when he's dark skinned, it's seen more of a positive. It's not a positive when it's a fetish, but I'm saying if we're going to go the negative and the positive of how those things are looked at when it comes to those 2 dark skinned people, that's how it's looked at. For men, it's considered it's a good thing. For women, it's considered a negative thing. Is that better?
No, but that's
Well,
because
you
you're a
get what I'm
woman.
saying.
You a
I'm not, the
sister.
word positive is what is the display or the negative word there. But for a man,
All right.
it's considered an attraction. For a woman, it's unattractive.
To white folks.
Yes.
So that's what makes it negative.
No, it's negative all the way around because it's fetished. But to a dark-skinned person, whether it be a man or a woman, they're already at the end of the spectrum, right? The not good spectrum. But with dark-skinned men, they're fetishized because they're looked at as more strong, more manly,
And that's a negative.
And then for
That's
the
a
women,
negative. Only to a man that has internalized patriarchy does
there you
being
go.
strong,
There you
does
go.
being
But then for
tough.
women, dark skin is everything negative. So
For,
they're all.
for men too, though. That's what I'm trying to get you to see, sister.
I
For
see it
men
both
too.
ways. I said
That
it's
is
a
just as negative.
fetish.
Because now it makes it so that dark-skinned man can't show
We are.
emotion. He gotta live up to a certain thing in society, a
Right.
certain stance in
Right.
society. He's not able to be sensitive. He's not able to express himself.
Right.
Even he's not even
It's
able to express anger.
dehumanizing. It's dehumanizing completely.
Exactly. So that's what I'm saying. Like, even for the
You don't like
dark-skinned
the
man,
word
it's
I
negative.
use, but what I'm saying is they will be more of an, if we're talking about pairing and attraction, they're looked at and picked up or chose more based on those things. While black women, darker skinned black women are rejected for the exact same thing. Is that better?
No. But I
No,
hear
I'm
you.
not asking you if it's a good thing. I'm saying this is how
I
it's
know.
working.
Now I'm even saying there. I know dark skinned brothers that don't get picked because they dark. A lot of these white tea women want light skinned, blonde hair, blue eyes, Chris Brown looking at some of them. So
Oh, that's just pure fetish, though. You know how that
yeah,
goes.
but
I'm saying in our realm
that's
with
what we're talking
colorism.
about. That's what we're talking
But
about.
so if we're looking at black community and colorism, the 2 darkest people are at the end of the sector. When we're talking about why a lot of darker skinned black women, and I can speak to even just today, will say they're choosing outside of their race because their own community of black men are saying that they're negative or they're not attractive or they're the last picked, right? And then if you have the darker skinned black men, they get both sides of the coin on the same way. It's just that some of them are even chosen based on the idea of them being darker skinned and
But
more
some men are
masculine.
chosen based on the idea that they're lighter skinned. So that's
Yes.
colorism. That's how
Yes,
colorism works.
That's exactly what I said. Yeah, completely
So,
agree.
the thing about dark skinned men is it's hard for me to say that, being masculine and all that, that's literally the way that, it's weaponized against them. It's not about dating. Like, it's about Dr. Joy DeGroy in her lecture. She said she interviewed a sheriff, and the sheriff said the bigger, blacker, and more masculine a person is, the more likely they were to get abused by the police. The bigger, blacker, and more masculine. That's what Dr. Joy DeGroy says. She
They're
says this,
already your skin
and
is a weapon.
right, and that's, but yeah, right. And I understand some men fetishize that real masculine man, and to them, but I would say that is such a small minority of your life running into these type of specific kind of women, because now you're not even talking about just women that like black dudes. You're talking about women that or I'm sorry, not like, but fetishize black dudes. But now you're talking about women that fetishize the darkest of the black dudes for a specific reason. And I just, it's even, and that's the problem. Is I try to tell brothers that playing into that does not benefit you. It does not benefit you to say that you are more masculine because you're dark skinned. We internalize even that and then look at them as more masculine. And they look at that and say, because even my own women, even my own people look at me as more masculine, I'm going to act more masculine. And that's just dangerous because it puts them in a box to where they can't express their full range of emotions that men have. It puts them into a patriarchy box. And I've seen it with other brothers, I've seen it myself, but I'm not dark skinned, but I know that, like there's been scenarios where I've been fetishized by white tea women, and just because I'm a man don't mean I like it. And a lot of sisters think just because women are throwing themselves at you that's a positive, because that's what patriarchy says. Women want you, so you a player. Hey, like, nah, it's creepy as hell. Just as creepy as if Bill Murray was trying to rub on your hair. Like, it's weird as hell. Like, when you at a party and a white woman feel like this is her Cinderella moment, she gonna throw her tongue down your throat. It's weird. Now you in front of your friends trying to like be a man, and you don't want to push no woman off you and say ewy. You don't want to do that. But now you got a woman throwing her, you know what I'm saying? Sometimes it don't smell right, and she in the club trying to twerk on you. You don't know this woman, and it's like, bruh, you know what I'm saying? Because white women, they thing is when they like you, they feel like you like them, duh, because you're a black man, so duh, you like me. And I've had them, grab parts of me, like I'm telling you, and I'm not even dark skinned. Like I'm not even dark. I'm 6'4". 6'4". I got my locks in my hair. I'm telling you, even when it happens to men, men play it off in front of women, but it's not it's not it's still wrong. It's just men don't express that, and they don't express that to even other men. I'm telling you, it's nasty. It's nasty work.
Brother, I don't think we were in a different room and a young lady came in and was telling us how I think it might have been Kay telling us about there's a video on Twitter how this black man was inebriated and a YT homeless woman literally raped him. And how he was like literally like, get off me, like what's going on? Like, ugh.
I'm telling you, like I ain't had it go that far, but like I've been to it was a New Year's Eve party, and I'm drunk, like I'm 23, 22, I'm drunk, and I'm chilling. This white girl going to take my chain off around my neck and put it in my pocket so that she could hop on me at the party. Like I let her take the chain off, and I'm not even thinking because I'm drunk. Like I'm out of it. I'm like, I'm like, what's she doing? Like I thought she was gonna wear it or something. I'm just telling you, when they think it's time, it's like Cinderella, because they was raised on Disney, so they think, oh, it's time to kiss the prince, and they just go for it, and you be like, hold on, like I don't even know where your mouth been at. Like you probably eating unseasoned ham sandwiches, and you don't know where they mouth been at. That's why I be saying brothers don't care about the brothers that do be with the frosted females. You can't tell me y'all care about body count. Don't ever let me see you with a bunny and you tell me you don't care about body count. You definitely do not care, because ain't no way on earth, ain't no way in heaven, hell, wherever you at, ain't no way that you can out WH blank RE a white woman. You can't do it. Nobody can do it. No sister on this planet Earth ever been to something like how they be doing Girls Gone Wild, Spring Break, all that nasty wild stuff they be doing, and then you gonna turn around and be kissing them in the mouth. Y'all know they definitely have high body counts. I'm trying to tell you. So a lot of these brothers, I'm convinced, only care about body counts when it's a sister, because you can't tell me them women they been kissing and putting things in their mouth since they was young. Like I'm telling you, it be kind of like, nah, bruh. Anyway, I'm gonna go to the next guest. Danish, what's going on? Give us your age, your race, and your pronouns, please.
Hello, I'm 37, African American, she, her, female.
All right, peace.
Hey, I wanted to speak on Lupita Nyong'o. I feel like I don't know like her whole dating history, but I feel like a lot of people do date outside of their race because of the colorism within our community. And I feel like really dark-skinned people are not appreciated. Their beauty is not appreciated as much as people who have lighter skin colors. And when they go outside of their race, it sort of puts them in a safe zone. They make no. So safe zone as far as
in their head, that might be true, but ain't no way you gonna upgrade from colorism to racism and think you safer.
Right. No. And you know what? I totally agree with that. You can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I totally agree with what you're saying. I would say this. Somebody asked me a long time ago, they said, you don't seem to have a type, whether it's a dark-skinned black dude or a light-skinned black dude. And I said, well, I kind of really don't. I like black guys, but I'll tell you this. When I'm dating a darker skin guy, he cares more about skin color. Where a lighter skinned black guy would very seldom does he bring up your skin color. Now, a situation happened with Lupita Nyong'o, where Gilbert Arenas, a retired, I think he was an NBA player, was like, I'm sorry, dark-skinned women just is not pretty. He felt the need to take to Twitter and give this announcement when nobody asked him. And he was like, come on, Serena Williams is way better looking than Lupita Nyong'o. A dark-skinned woman just is not pretty. Now, nothing against Serena Williams, but I don't agree with who he thought was prettier. But clearly he has an issue with the color of a black woman. Now, I checked his history. He dates black women, but he is a colorist. And I feel like a lot of the times darker skinned people, and I'm not making an excuse for it in no way. I feel like them dating other puts them in to some extent, it's less worry of their own color.
That's not true.
Okay.
That's not true. Who taught the black community colorism? When did we start doing that?
No, white people, hands down.
Okay, so
I would totally agree.
So then going to them, the direct source of the problem, does not solve any of the problem.
No, I totally agree.
Yeah. But
it is embedded within our community. I totally agree with what I literally had a conversation with this guy about it. He's a dark-skinned dude, and he actually had a baby with a white woman, which I do feel like it might have been part of an excuse. Now, his story is a little complex.
Well, I'm saying you can't judge dark-skinned men off of a brother with a bunny.
No.
That should let you know what's in here already.
I'm not just talking for dark skin. I'm even with my friends, I feel like I may say, a guy may be like, well, let me see what your friend look like. Too dark or can't be as black as me. Excuse me?
Yeah, that's not the kind of friends I got. You know what I'm saying?
Right. No. And you know what? I do agree with you, but this is real in the black community, colorism.
But where does it come from?
It does come from white people.
All right. So as long as we are in Babylon under oppression, there is going to be colorism in our community.
No, so I totally agree with you. The answer is to not date. I'm not saying. I'm not saying you can hear me?
Yeah, I hear you.
Okay, I'm not saying the answer is to date outside of your race. Absolutely not. That is not the answer. So I'm not saying that. But it doesn't help. Our own community does not appreciate the beauty of someone sometimes just because they're dark skinned.
No, I agree that it
And that's a
doesn't
big
help.
thing. This is not a small deal in our community.
I agree that it doesn't help, but the same way alcoholism does not help your body, but for a lot of alcoholics, they feel that it's the only way for them to alleviate a pain, a trauma that they have been through. It's a symptom of whoever caused that trauma. It is up to us personally to take responsibility for that and maybe quell some of the effects, some of the symptoms of the damage and the trauma. And that's why I would behoove all sisters to date somebody that sees them for them and sees past their complexion.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Whether he's light, dark, don't matter. You know, it's just at the end of the day, you know, that's something that you have to expect because you're dating a people that are in an oppression, in a silent war, a genocide. Like it's going on right now, and that's
Right.
the hard part for us to accept, right? Because we want to feel like we have some sort of control now. We done marched off the plantation. We got control over society. Read Dr. Neely Fuller Jr. Read Dr. Francis Cress Welsing. Until we are in a place where blackness is not under threat of violence at every turn, until Sandra Bland is able to make a left turn without getting unalived, until Botham Jean is able to sit in his house peacefully and not have an off-duty police officer come in the house and pow him up, until Breonna Taylor is able to sleep peacefully, we not there yet. So you got to understand that if you're going to date black people, you have to also understand you are dating trauma victims.
Right.
You have to expect trauma,
Right.
and so you have to look for people that don't have the severe symptoms, but the symptoms are going to be there.
Now, I find a lot of the times a lot of men date off of what they feel may be the status quo to date and not what they're really attracted to. Like I know a lot of men I feel like is very attracted to darker skinned women, but they feel like they may get more praise if the woman looks mixed or is other.
So that's a thing, right? That's once again everything you're talking about with these type of brothers is internalized. It's another symptom. It's just internalized self-hatred. That's all you're talking about. Any brother that looks at a dark-skinned woman and has to say what that man you said was saying, that's just a self-hatred. It's self-hatred. It has nothing to do with that woman, her complexion, none of that. And this is what I was talking, I think, to you about last time. These brothers don't know why they're straight. They don't know why they're straight. White man told them, men do this. Men don't do that.
Right.
Men do this. Men don't do that. And so all they know how to do is what Master told them men do in order to feel like they're a man. They haven't questioned themselves enough, being honest with themselves enough to even know why they're straight. So they're just trying to appease what society thinks a man is supposed to be.
Right.
And so that's the thing with a lot of these brothers. Yeah. I'm sorry, y'all. Hold on.
I'm gonna take a pause for the cause, you guys. So I need you guys to tap that screen. Tap the screen. We need to get to 25K while brother is out for a second. Let's talk a little bit. Can y'all drop some pause in the chat or the fist? Give me some. Show me that y'all are there and y'all are actively listening. Give me some pause or give me the fist. I need to know that you guys are tuned in, turned up, and you're listening to the entertainment. Tap the screen, share the live, invite your friends, invite your enemies, but put the pause in the chat. I need to see that you're here. Are you here? Are you listening? Are you tuned in? Brother's taking a second. Soon as he gets...
My bad, y'all.
All right.
Yeah, nah, my bad, y'all. My mom never comes by my house unexpectedly. Just today, she just decided that's what she was going to do. But yeah, so a lot of brothers haven't done that self-work. Now, hand in hand, that self-work comes with dismantling patriarchy, right? Because if I love myself, I love where I come from. I come from a black woman. I gotta love myself now. I gotta love black women. So patriarchy, dang. Love is to us, to Africans. Love is not ooh nice feelings. Ooh, that's Europeans. Mm-mm. To us, love has a communal aspect. Love is Ubuntu. That's love that predates Europeans. Okay, that's love going back. All right. So Ubuntu. I am who I am because of who we all are. I am me. I am me because of you. You see what I'm saying? Humanity, a celebration of that. We're all interconnected. That interconnectedness means I empathize with black women. When I see her, she's a divine reflection of me. So now I see how she's treated. I see how society tells me to treat her. I can't rock with that. So that's part of like unpacking that brothers have to do. And it also leads to, knowledge of self and loving your blackness. So, a lot of healing comes with that, but a lot of brothers don't even know to heal in that direction. So that's inward, that's where you're going to catch weirdos like that. And you probably catch a lot of them, in certain areas, I'll be honest.
Can I say?
I'm glad that you got that visitor. That's a much deserved visitor. But she wants to say something. I'm going to let you talk, and then I'll kind of go.
Yeah. So no, I wanted to make it clear. I do not feel that way, but I do
I was
feel
using that
that
to
other
teach, sister.
people, it is a color issue in our community, and I understand who the culprit is. I'm in no way I'm trying to
You don't
blame
gotta
us.
defend yourself, sister. I was just
Right.
using that to teach. I wasn't speaking
Okay.
against what you were saying.
Yeah, but that is a big issue in our community where it's like people are breeding to have kids that I guess they wished they looked like, or they don't want their kid to go through what they went through for being teased for the color of their skin. So they're breeding with lighter skin. Now, in the black community, we have an array of colors, but a lot of us, for the most part, we're brown, we're, dark skin. And so they wind up dating outside of their race. Now, I do think it's an excuse, and I do think it's self-hatred. I don't disagree with that. But colorism is huge in our community.
Why?
And at this point, it is on us because
Because
we can't really
the
fix
world,
what the white man thinks. We
right?
can fix what we think.
No. But it's not just what we think.
Right.
Well, a child has a higher chance of getting a job. They have done studies that
Right.
people have a higher chance of getting hired with lighter skin.
Right.
So it's not just that, oh, we think it looks better and we were taught that it just looks better. We're shown with our eyes in society that it is the preference. So
Right.
that's where it becomes not our community problem, but a problem that started out of our community and a problem that we feel the effects of in our community. So it's outside of our hands, but it is something that when it shows up on our doorstep, we can choose not to engage. However, it's not our problem. We can't fix colorism. We can, like I said, quell the effects. We can, when it shows up, personal responsibility takes part there. But yeah, that's the best we can do until we live in a society that is not hostile towards more melanated people.
Right.
Yeah, it's a shame. I mean, the last thing I thought about when I got with my wife was the color, the complexion. Thought about the color of her skin. I need, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I need somebody crispy, but I
Right.
didn't know. I didn't think of her complexion,
Right.
because my older sister is more heavily melanated, richly melanated. You feel me? And I grew up around richly melanated women raising me and brothers I grew up with. So I never thought more rich than me. And I know I'm light skinned right now, but that's because I don't go outside, yo. I get deep brown, you know what I'm saying? I'm chilling right now, so don't judge me. But um my wife, you know, she's got more of a tan than I do. And I didn't even think about it. And then she started to show me how she's able to like be invisible. And I didn't understand that at first. Like she can be in a room and nobody knows she's there. I've seen it. I've seen it. Like it's the wildest thing. Cause I
Right.
can't do that. I'm 6'4". Like people see me, and I get offended when people act like they don't see me. Like
Right.
I know I'm not invisible. I'm standing right here. Like, but you know, I hate that. That's a pet peeve of mine. People walk right past me. Usually it's them. You know, the bright people. But especially when it's a brother, I still be like, all right, I see what time you want. You gonna act like I'm not standing here, but all right. But yeah, you know,
Wait, I want to add to that. So
yeah,
I was dating this dude, a dark skinned dude, and I said to him one day, just randomly, I was like, "You're so beautiful," and he said, then goes on to tell me about how he was from Jamaica. So he went on to tell me about, he grew up in New York though, to tell me how like when back in Jamaica, like he had to stand outside, he had to get his food last because he was the darkest one out of all his cousins. Like how much colorism he experienced. Now I was just telling him he was beautiful, but that is what I guess it triggered him to go into, you know, that whole story. I mean, the man literally started crying.
yeah.
So that's kind of
I've gotten reactions like that too.
right,
A lot of black men feel like the world don't see them. It's
right,
messed up, and that's what my elder taught me when I started this whole going live and building B1 initiative. Is that you have to have a lot of integrity, and when you're doing this type of stuff talking to black people, you have to understand that we are very insecure people.
right,
um that's just the way it is. And so you know, like Kevin Samuels, for example, he shouldn't have, even if what he was saying was how he felt, he shouldn't have been
right,
saying it the way he was saying it. Sometimes I
right,
don't like Dr. Umar the way he be saying certain things,
right,
because you got to understand, we deserve that tenderness. Like, and so, you know, a lot of brothers I spoke with a brother one time, and he told me, he said, you know, I rock with you because you look me in my eyes. He said that. He said, people don't look me in my eyes. Like,
right,
you know, so that's a thing. Like, you know, and I noticed it in myself after that. That's why I remember he said that, because I noticed, damn, I don't be looking dark skinned brothers in the eyes. Like I look at their forehead and look like kind of just at what I'm looking at while I'm talking to them. I'm not like locked in on their eyes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and so, you know, that's something I noticed. And yeah, a lot of brothers in general don't feel seen. If you look up Dr. Jawanza Kunjufu's Countering the Conspiracy to Destroy Black Boys, you learn that um the trouble a lot of black men face is neglect. And we speak on it, and a lot of sisters don't understand it.
right,
We and them not understanding it is part of that neglect. Like black men in general are very neglected in ways that sisters don't see, which, you know, isn't, it's just part of it. It's like a thing.
right,
Yeah. Like, cause and to y'all is, oh, he a man, he good, he all right, he good. We don't need to worry about him. And to the brothers, it's, yo, no one saw what's going on with me. Like, no one even asked me what's going on with me. Like, they'll just see me angry and be like, oh, he mad. What he mad about? Something he angry. Nobody asked me, like, why are you mad? Like, I'm telling you, people don't ask, like, even my own family, like, it's a thing. Like, you know, a lot of sisters, the saying goes, women raise their daughters and love their sons, or love their sons and raise their daughters. And people think when we say love your sons, that we're talking about they pay more attention to their sons. No,
right,
they mean love their sons like that's their husband. They mean replace the man in their life with their sons, and think, oh, well, he a man, I don't gotta coddle him. I don't. And so it ends up that the son gets spoiled, right? Because he don't have the same responsibilities as the daughter, and he don't got to do the dishes. He don't got to, but that's neglect. And so the neglected children look like they're having more fun all the time. I've seen neglected white children that was making macaroni and cheese, Easy Mac for dinner, and I used to think that was more fun. They get the curse in their household, but
Yeah.
yeah, so that's the thing. But the daughters are actually getting raised to be women, and so y'all, in that aspect, become more mature when y'all are older. So then you look at these immature men all around you, and you wondering what's going on. It's because there was no father to help raise them to be men, the same way y'all was raised to be women.
Right. I want to go on to something. So by me making that one comment, we went into a whole conversation about race. So this is New York City, and now he goes on to talking about himself being on a train. And this is your white collar dude, and he works in corporate, and he started talking about how like other black dudes would see him and would be like, you punk ass. I don't know if I don't want to curse, but you know how we can talk when we get gritty and real street like. So he's always being like punked when he's around other like black guys, or they see him as, they don't accept him. Do you get what I'm saying?
He's
I'm
light
trying
skinned.
not to be too dark skinned, really, really dark skinned dude. But of course, he wear the button ups, the slacks. He works in corporate, but so now he's expressing to me the love he does not receive from black men, really.
Yeah, so that just means he's doing the same thing the other brothers was doing. Whenever somebody says black people don't treat me this way, black people don't treat me that way, they're projecting what they think about black people onto people. Because if he's not receiving love from quote unquote black people,
Right.
we're not a monolith. There's no
Right.
one uniform way to be black. So that would tell me right there that he got some type of internalized self-hatred.
Of course, I
Especially
believe
if
so.
he's dark skinned in this environment, you can assume almost
Yeah.
that he's got internalized self-hatred.
Right.
It's a side effect. Racism's like a disease. It's got side effects. And I've seen it, a lot of the scholars talk about it. I think that's the best way to kind of understand it. But yeah, we're a psychologically oppressed people, and economically, all these other ways. So that's a thing. Some of y'all got to deal with this self-hatred, man. It's real bad. It's bad, and it's taught.
Right.
Uh,
I feel like that's something in our community we have to fix, because I feel like black women support each other a little bit more easily and quicker than black men support each other.
yeah.
Do you
Well,
know what I mean?
women.
So I sat back and I asked him, and I mean, the man makes a lot of money.
Mm,
And I said to him, I said, I'm just curious, if anything happens to you, if you got locked up today, or if you needed $1,000, whatever, bail money, how many people in your circle, just give me your circle of people don't include me, how many people can bail you out? And he said nobody.
mm,
Do
yeah.
you get what I'm saying?
Like nobody can afford to bail him out, or nobody will bail him out.
Nobody could afford to bail him out.
Huh.
And right. So one of the things I talked to him about was like his circle, and making connections within his circle. So basically now he kind of went into an excuse with why he kind of rock with white people. And I let him know, like, look, they're your coworkers. They do not have your back. You guys are in an institution and you're serving a goal, but they don't have your back outside of work. No, they're your coworkers.
Mm-hmm.
But I told him about I told him about a mentoring program that I'm in, and it's with teenage girls. And if he can mentor a couple of boys, and these are boys in the system, they're in the group homes, but they don't have a big brother or they don't have a father figure. If he can, just help out. And he seemed like, at first, he did seem interested, then he seemed like apprehensive about it.
Yeah.
Then later on, he went on to kind of say like all that he's been through, he just felt like he gave up on the Black community.
Yeah,
He
unless
said like he felt like he got more hate from Black people than white people. And I tried to tell him like, well, it's indirect. Like, I don't think he's understanding the impact of why you're getting the problems from Black people. I don't think he really, it's weird. You know, people want to bring up our Black history and things Black women done, but you're not looking at the history and how we got here. Do you get what I'm saying?
and that's really what you have to look at most of the time.
Right.
Yeah, like that changes the whole conversation. I think a lot of brothers in the system of patriarchy are not going to want to raise a child that's not their own. Did he have a father?
No, he did not have. He didn't have a father.
So he's
So
definitely
he
not.
said, like, Black women overall have been good to him, but his issues seem to be with Black men, like just not accepting him, teasing him because he was too Black. He's Jamaican, but like they would laugh at him like, you look more African, you're Black, you're ugly.
That's
You know,
how he feels inside.
right?
That's wild. Like even and then you got to understand it's also part of Black culture going back thousands of years to play the dozens. You know what that is?
Yes.
Whenever we see you're weak in a certain area, we're gonna roast you. We're gonna get on you.
Right.
And
Right.
that's Black boys. I've been doing that for thousands of years. Part of our culture that white teachers will give you detention for, but they don't know that's part of our culture. That's how we make each other strong. You make fun of everybody make fun of his big nose, big nose, big nose, and now he got to stand 10 toes on having that big nose. And so that's another thing we talk about is, Europeans only see conflict in the form of violence. Africans, we love conflict because we come to real solutions through that. For example, we love debate talk. You come on TikTok, there's a bunch of Black folks debating. We love Jerry Springer. We love, debates, like arguments, because we've been able to come up with resolutions. But yeah, as far as that, it feels like he's projecting.
Okay.
He got some internalized self-hatred. No Black man that's got pride in who his people are and who he is going to have like that type of outlook on. He's a Black man, and think about what he's telling you. He's a Black man telling you he has issues with Black men.
Right.
Now we talking about self-love, right?
Yeah.
As a Black man, when I see another Black man, I see a reflection of myself. Ubuntu. So why does he have issues with reflections of himself? And you can have an issue with certain people, but when he's talking about Black men, he's having he's generalizing all reflections of himself. So that's an issue.
Right.
Yeah.
I just want to add something else real fast. I just feel like with the African American culture, I feel like we don't stick together. Now, I am a Pan-African, so I believe we all are one. But as far as African American, I feel as if we don't really stick together like other cultures do.
You want to know something surprising? I think that's what it feels like in the driver's seat. Like I've been on stage with like artists, and this is the only way I can think to describe this. When you're on stage, it don't feel the way it looked from the audience.
Right.
It don't feel like on the audience, you think that person, they all confident and they doing it. Well, when you're on stage, it's just like, oh, okay, this is regular. It's just like a regular room, but there's people down there. Like, it's really not that big a deal. And I think, yeah, like, it's like when I forgot what I was about to say. What was your question again?
So I was talking about like being African American.
Oh yeah, okay.
We don't
Okay.
really stick
So
together like the other
yeah,
African
the thing
cultures.
is, in the diaspora, we stick together the most.
Yeah,
We
right.
stick together more than anyone else. And Africans will tell you that. Afro-Canadians will tell you that. Afro-Caribbeans. Now they stick together as well, but we have such a diversity as African Americans because we got the Caribbean influence on our culture. We
Right.
got the Dutch influence, the African straight up Gullah Geechee influence. We got a diverse culture, subsets of culture. So,
Right.
and then when we go to other places, you know, where there's black people, we look at them as our brothers and sisters, and sometimes they don't even consider themselves black. We look at
Right.
them, you look like my cousin. What you talking about? And they're like, no, I'm Dominican. Me no black.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I'm
Oh yeah,
saying?
you see that a lot in New York.
But you see what
Mm-hmm.
I speak. Yeah, I'm from there. Not from New York. I'm from New Jersey. I'm from
All
Elizabeth.
right, so you get it. Yeah.
But yeah, so you know that all that we're the first people in mankind's history, the first African people in mankind's history to unite on a continental identity of Africa. There's other Africans that came together on the
Right.
continent, but they didn't come together under the identity of this is our whole continent. Like we are the people of this continent and we unify with that's why Pan-Africanism is so important. That's
Right.
why it's so impactful. So yeah, that's the thing. So we really do stick together, but when you're inside, it feel like we don't, because all you see is the division.
Right.
But
So,
yeah.
to give better context, like for an example, one Asian nail salon I could have been going to for years to find out the one down the block is the sister, the cousin. Do you get what I mean? And it doesn't
Okay,
really.
so now if you're going to compare us to outside the diaspora, okay,
Right.
I thought you meant African Americans as black people, but you mean African Americans as just people in general.
Right.
And so if that's the case, then I would say the answer to that question is outlined in Frank Wilderson, again, a book I was brought up earlier, Afro-pessimism. They don't go through
Yeah,
what we go through.
I'm gonna check it out because you brought it up a couple of times. But I want to give you an example. So just a few months ago, I was in Atlanta, and I have a good friend. He's from Senegal, and he owns a lot of clubs in Atlanta, and it's a big like African influence. Whether they're Nigerian, Somalian,
Yeah.
what we had over there, Kenyan, Cameroon, right? So one day I'm hanging out with this guy, and an African American dude comes up to him to promote or something like that. And he was like, I have a question for you. He was like, I was told by, such and such over there and such over there. And that guy over there said to give you the money. So he's like, yeah, give me the money. So he said, but wait, hold on, because isn't he like Cameroonian? And isn't that other dude Nigerian? He said, yeah. He said, but where you from? So dude's like, I'm from Senegal. He was like, so what? He was like, we all won. Give me the money. And I saw the look on the African-American dude's face. Like, he was like, and he even looked at me like, whoa, we don't do that. I mean, now we're coming from a whole different, I remember, when I was in school, I couldn't wear my afro. I used to wear an afro before the weave. I was wearing an afro and I couldn't wear it. So as an African American, I tried to tell Africans coming into this country, we had a completely different experience than what you're having now. I'm not taking away from their experience at all, but we kind of went through it. I remember I couldn't get caught talking to another black girl. I was just, I do, I'm a contract worker, so I do travel assignments. I was just at this place recently where I noticed the black girls on the job aren't talking much. But once we go into like a room or like, whether it's the break room or the medication room, suddenly they want to have conversations with you. And I said, and it's not them. I understand that it's the company, right? And I do feel like it is different for African Americans to where it's almost like our connection is more intimidating when we're together. Does that make sense? What I'm saying?
Our connection is more intimidating when we're together.
Right. Like I feel like other races can be in their language. They can do that. They can talk. They can help each other outwardly. But I feel like when Black Americans talk, it's sort of like we have to take it to the side in corporate.
That's interesting.
Yeah. Now,
I would
not every
all
place, like I didn't feel that way when I was in Atlanta. No, not in Atlanta where you have predominantly Black people are the bosses. No. But in some areas, I just noticed, I said, the Black girls, there's a few of us sprinkled in here. They're not really talking. But the minute, now I'm new, right? So I'm not going to talk much anyway. But the minute I would go into like a room, they'll come behind me and be like, girl, oh my, and so I notice they won't carry that conversation on the floor, even though you have white people on the floor having way vulgar conversations. I mean,
right.
right.
And that's once again we're back at the symptoms of oppression.
Right.
So, yeah, that's regular in this society as it stands. That's something that goes back to the plantation. So that's just
I'm sorry, can I
they,
comment on this topic?
yeah, go ahead, Tara.
So I don't know, maybe my experience is unique. So I grew up in Baltimore, Maryland. A realigned community, right? So I lived around Black people. I went to school with Black people, and I think a lot of times when we see other cultures, especially cultures that come here from immigrate from other countries, we see them be close knit because they have to be close knit, right? But when you're in those communities, they got their own conflicts too, right? But when I was younger, I remember like you needed like stuff to like sugar and like little stuff like that. I could literally go knock on people's door and they're like, all right, yeah, no problem. Like, yeah, it's arguing, it's fighting. I think that's what happened. We see that and we're like, oh, we can't get along. Like that's what happens. But it's just like with your cousin. You argue with your cousin, but don't come around here and mess with my cousin. I'll whoop your ass type thing. Like I don't know. I feel like when people say that, I think it's dangerous for Black people to say there's no community, especially because like when I hear that comment, I'm usually in spaces with Black people. For example, right now is a space with predominantly Black people here. I say predominantly because I know they watching, but like it's Black people here. Like that is community, and I think I get what you're saying. Like being in white spaces, I agree. I believe that people, Black people, should be Black as fucking white spaces. But what I'm saying is, we'll be in community with our community and say there's no community.
No,
And I just,
so no. So we're definitely in community here, and that's why I'm here. Okay, that's exactly why I'm here. I wouldn't be here if I wasn't. This is my leisure time, so I'm going to make it of the best quality. What I'm saying is, comparatively to other Africans, it's like they're on beat with it. They understand whether they're from Senegal or Nigeria. It's like, I got you.
But picture this. Picture you go to Sweden and you see another African American. You know what I'm saying? You in Sweden, you surrounded by people that don't look like you, or even you go to Africa. You go to, part of Africa where there's not many Americans, no one else really speak English, and then you see an African American. You're going to immediately feel like that connection again. It's like, and so you got to understand when they come here to America, they're in foreign land. So to see someone from familiar from home in foreign land, they all are going to have that connection.
Exactly. Right. I agree.
Other races, we have to remember, don't go through what we go through. They don't have our trauma.
Right.
Too. Yeah.
I don't know. Also, like, I don't know. I think when you spend time in those spaces, I don't know. I don't see it that way. I'm gonna be honest. I don't see it as it not being a community. I know it's conflict. I know it's some problems, but I don't believe that there's no community. And when I hear people say that,
I'm sorry. Did I say it wasn't?
Oh no. Maybe I took it somewhere else. But I'm just saying.
I didn't say it was not a community.
But you talking about the being close knit. You talking about like. All right, let me be mute. I'm gonna go on mute and listen then.
No.
Wait, I think I get what you're saying. Like, so the field that I work in is education, and it's predominantly white people, like predominantly. And anytime I have a close coworker, when we have conversations about the things that we want to talk about, we usually do have those conversations in private. And I find myself being, and I've always been this way because I've grown up in a predominantly white area. I find myself being very guarded and very cautious and observing more. I'm more quiet. I was like that ever since I was a child. Anytime I was home, I was fine. Anytime I was around other Black people, I'll be perfectly fine. But when I was in their presence, I would really just be observant. And I remember, like, when I was younger, I really didn't talk a lot when I would be at school, but that's because I'd be the only Black one in there, or Black person in there, or there might be another Black child, maybe two, but that would be it. So, I think that is something that we do. First of all, what connections do we have with them? You know what I'm saying? Like, I had a coworker who one time asked me about, I don't know, did you see Carrie Underwood's performance last night? No. I didn't see Carrie Underwood's performance last night. I don't know why you asking me this, but, so I don't talk about those types of things with them because I really can't relate, but I also know that I have to operate a certain way in those spaces and it's like a self-preservation type of thing. There was a video I was watching, and it was Black girls in the workplace, and they were talking about, how we tend to operate a certain way. But so I get what you're saying. I definitely feel a sense of community. The minute I go into, an area and I would see another Black person or, another Black peer, we would always do that eye contact thing, and kind of like find our way to each other amongst the entire group, and there was a connection there. There was always a connection there. And so I get what you're saying, but we definitely do have community outside of the workplace. And when we show appreciation to each other, it's usually not in front of them. Like, we can't fully be ourselves in front of them. So I get what you're saying in that aspect.
So my bad. I realized I was wrong. I was talking about a totally different topic. So I just want to acknowledge that. My bad.
Okay.
No, what I'm saying is Africans, I feel like even though they're from different countries, they collaborate and accept each other more easily. Even me, I'm not just going to say each other. If I'm in an African space, right? They'll welcome me with open arms. So I'm not like discounting me as an African American, but I find with African Americans, it's more of we jump through a lot of hoops to sort of get it together. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but you gotta remember that you're looking at Africans that come to the United States. They come to the West. In Africa, and I'll send you some. I'll send you some African lives because that's really where I'll be at.
Right.
Like, when I go on lives, I'll be trying to get into some of these African conversations. I don't even go up on stage. I'll just be in the comments listening, or I'll just listen to them. I'll just be listening to them talk because I learned a lot of knowledge of the continent just by listening to them talk. But they be going at it just as much as we do. I'm telling you right now.
No, I'm not. No, so I'm not fetishizing the culture. I'm not saying.
No, I know.
And there's reasons for it. And I had to explain it sometimes to Africans because I've heard, people straight from Africa say, oh, but, why is the African American doing this? Why haven't they did this? They don't. So I've had to sort of check them on that as well. Like, we're having a different experience than you're having. And I want to say thank you to Black Swan, for your input and, you're getting where I'm coming from. But, no, so I definitely understand why it's happening, right? So I'm not blind to why it's happening. It's just something I'm speaking on.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is that your perspective on it to say that they're more unified or more willing to reach across and connect. I feel like it's the same. It's just when they're in this land, they see someone, even if they from a different, because like Nigeria, for example, how many they call them tribes, but how many different tribes are in Nigeria? I don't even know, but I know there's like a few hundred or 100 or something. And when they come out here, all of a sudden they Nigerian. That's all they care about.
Right.
And so that's what I'm saying is, I might be from New Jersey, someone else might be from LA.
Right.
If we in South Africa, I'm looking at them, hey, what up, bro? Like, so it's kind of different.
So I dropped down, but I took a critical race theory class. It was critical race theory in education, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I was going to Notre Dame mainly because it was free with my district, but it's like mainly like a white institution, whatever. So I had a class. It's just me and a class of 12 other educators, and they was all white. And that was the most satisfying class I've ever took in my life, to be honest. The instructor tried to get me one day with colorism. I'm like, oh, I'm colorist. You ain't. I'm already unpacked up. That ain't gonna work. They hated me though. I loved it there. Like I said, be black as fucking white spaces. Thanks for having me up, y'all. Take care.
All right, appreciate you, Tara.
Thank you.
Tara, also in B1 Initiative. Yup, appreciate you, Sister Danish and Black Swan. My wife is telling me we gotta go, so my mother here. I'm gonna go see what's going
Mama
on.
Legend in the building.
What's that?
I say Mama Legend in the building.
Yeah, she in the building.
Your wife is D Diva?
No.
No?
You got.
No.
You
Oh.
better.
No.
Nah.
I'm just co-host.
I'm sorry. But
I'm
D
the
Diva,
little
you are
sister.
gorgeous. I just
Thank
wanted
you.
to say that. You guys
I
are
will put
gorgeous.
her on camera, but she's shy. She don't.
Oh, okay.
She gonna flip her hair and walk away.
She need to make a show. Miss Jess need to come and do the dating with y'all. Like y'all can do that together on here.
She don't want to do it.
She
She
funny
don't
as
wanna
hell.
do
What she say? What she
She said
say?
we gonna do it. She said we gonna do
You
it.
need to do it, Miss Jess. The way he talks about you, you are a woman of so much power. Like you and him, we need to see more black couples that are actually pushing people forward. And they actually stand on that purpose. Like it means a lot. Like I don't think people realize how much of an impact it makes with two black people that are actually pro-black and choosing each other. Like they choosing blackness. And
We need to see it more.
Need to see that.
We need to see it. Yeah.
I mean, the way he started talking about it, everybody in the chat be like, "Look at his face! Look at his face! He light up." Listen, she do something, baby. She's magic over there.
She sure is. I don't know how she do it. I scooped her up. Quick. We was talking about it earlier. I scooped her up, but we was already friends. That's the trick. We was already friends. It's not like I took her out. We had to go 50-50 on a meal and all of that. Nah, we was already like friends. I told you remind me of a cousin. And then one day we just was like, look, I want to do this with my life. Do you want to do it too? Yeah, she's like, yeah, and we started planning from there. That's why I tell brothers, you got to find your purpose within yourself first. But I appreciate y'all, man. I'm going to figure out what she got going on. Definitely black love in the building. And we are going to do something with dating, man. I want to do something where sisters can find brothers and intentional brothers can find intentional sisters. We work in technology with b1initiative.org. So I'm open if y'all want to come into the Discord and start a thread, because we are a think tank. So we think of creative solutions. If y'all want to come up with a creative solution to find intentional brothers and sisters.
Look at Francesca, brother. She been trying to find her brother. We get her one.
Funny. Y'all funny. But yeah, if y'all want to start something that is for intentional black people, you know what I'm saying? Black on purpose. Then that's something that, it's just we're gonna have to weed out the unintentional, the weirdos and the knuckleheads, you know what I'm saying? Like, so that's the thing. But I would like to do something to bring black people together because that's important, right? Can we preference ourselves? Or are we gonna keep going on Tinder that's gonna keep showing brothers bunnies? And you know what I'm saying? Even the Tinder commercials and Hinge and Bumble, you go on their commercials and all you see is interracial. Like that's all they pushing. Like most of these interracial relationships, you ask them where they met, they're gonna say the internet or Instagram or Tinder or something. So you know what I'm saying? So that's the thing. But we'll talk about it. I appreciate y'all. b1initiative.org. Join us. Donate. We are tax deductible. Appreciate y'all. Sister Alicia, Jen, all the queendom. I'm going to start calling y'all the queendom. Y'all just the queendom. You know what I'm saying? The queendom. Alicia, Timothy, my brother, appreciate you. Thank you for always putting the link down there. And y'all put the B1 initiative in your bios. Sister Stella, I did see your text message. I just can't read it because I'm up here, but I saw it pop up, so I'm about to read it. Yeah, we working on some things. Oh yeah, and Sunday we gonna watch which one are we watching? We watching the Christianity one. We watching at the meeting on Sunday we're gonna watch. Did anybody see which one won? We voted on it. We're gonna watch. Nah, Donahue lost. Donahue lost. Hold on, I'm about to tell you right now. On Sunday, we're gonna watch, by 17. We're gonna watch Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen, The African Origins of Christianity. It's 1 hour. I tried to pick the 1 hour ones, so it's an hour long. Yeah, it's the Christianity one. Dr. Joseph Ben Yakinen, The African Origins of Christianity. That's a powerful message, and hopefully it will help some of y'all get white Jesus out about your spirit. You know what I'm saying? Get back to your ancestors. All right, y'all. One love. Talk to y'all soon. Peace. Yeah,
Hop
he
in the
about to shut
tub,
it down.
y'all. What?
Yes, that's right. Hop in the tubs.
Hop in the tub.